Warning: the following program contains material that may be disturbing to some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
Nobody knows the exact death toll, but it's been estimated that between 3 and 10 million people have been killed due to the imperialist ambitions of the Belgian throne. At the turn of the century, King Leopold II of Belgium transformed the Congo Basin, an area that was 76 times larger than the country of Belgium itself, into his private colony that was known as the Congo Free State. Today, we're here to inform you about Belgium's largest and most debated imperialist handlings, which has, for decades, received little recognition through mainstream media. I'm Doug Pluta, and this is 20 Minutes.
In 1884, Portugal called for a conference of European leaders to discuss the fate of the continent of Africa. European leaders saw this continent as a great opportunity to expand their spheres of influence and receive valuable resources. Organized by Otto von Bismarck, the Berlin Conference took place in Germany with leaders from Austria, Germany, Britain, France, Italy, Belgium, and others in attendance. King Leopold II already had claims into the Congo, and as a result, the conference resolved that the Congo was essentially the property of King Leopold II. He continued to send explorer and reporter Henry Morton Stanley into the Congo for exploration and further colonization efforts. The means by which Leopold took over and colonized the Congo sparked dissent from many across Europe, including Winston Churchill and Joseph Conrad, who wrote the famous book Heart of Darkness. From there, Leopold continued to rule with an iron fist over the Congo, with strict rubber quotas and extreme punishment for insubordination and failure to meet rubber quotas for the day. These harsh punishments included having your hands severed, whippings, beatings, or death. Many novels less famous than Conrad's were published and shone some light on the situation over 3,000 miles away in the Congo.
This photograph depicts a man named Nasala sitting on the porch of a missionary's house in the Congo. Before him lie a small hand and foot. They are all that remain of his 5-year-old daughter who, with his wife and son, have been killed, dismembered, cooked, and then eaten by soldiers part of the La Force Publique, a military organization loyal to Belgium. Nassau is but one of many hundreds of millions who felt the effects of the Belgian presence on the Congo and its natives. Following the invention of the bicycle and the increased demand for rubber, natives were forced into servitude by the imperialists. Quotas for rubber collection were set on towns and villages, and when they were not met, soldiers descended upon the residents to pillage and rape. Here is a photograph of a gruesome but widespread practice: the severing of hands. King Leopold II used the International African Association as a front to procure lands for his private use. After he secured the Congo Basin for his private use, he set out to turn the African heartland into his private colony, often by questionable means.
We now have Brooke Wong with a 20 Minutes exclusive interview.
Thank you, Doug. We're now joined by Mr. Simil Apior. You are a member of the International African Association, correct?
That's right, it's the IAA for short.
Well, could you please provide us with some clarification about your purpose?
Our main goal is to further humanitarian and scientific interest in the African Congo. Our secondary goal is to connect the Atlantic Ocean with the Indian Ocean.
Thank you, and would you say that so far you've been successful in these goals?
Yes, we've made a lot of progress in building stations for people to rest at during expeditions. Soon, getting from the Atlantic Ocean to the Indian Ocean will be a matter of mere weeks.
And what about your original goal? Has that been successful as well?
Well, I'm sure King Leopold has made a lot of progress. He's been doing a lot of building hospitals, roads, schools. He's even built some missions so that Africans can get a taste of civilization.
And what about the death toll? What do you have to say to that?
The what?
The death toll? Ever since King Leopold II has taken over the Free State of the Congo, there have been allegations that 3 to 10 million Congolese natives have been killed. How is that humanitarian?
Well, I'm sure that has nothing to do with us. The Africans are savages. They're probably killing each other over trivial matters.
It seems that this little extra that you speak of is coming at a high cost in human lives. Isn't the IA a humanitarian organization which is supposed to prevent that?
Well, I fail to see what this has to do with me.
But the IA is a humanitarian organization. Doesn't it have everything to do with human rights?
But that doesn't mean we can't make a little extra.
Choosing a little extra money over the comfort and lives of millions of natives doesn't seem to be humanitarian at all. Thank you for your time, Mr. Stanley Offenberg.
Next, we have our weekly point-counterpoint segment. This week, we have Edward Morel, a British journalist who has studied the current situation in the Belgian Congo, and King Leopold II, the King of Belgium, who has decided to claim the Congo for Belgium.
The situation in the Congo is an atrocity, King Leopold. We have men, women, and children forced into slave labor by the threat of their hands being severed. There is the kidnapping and slaughter of entire villages. Baskets upon baskets of severed hands now serve as the most accurate symbol of the Free State of Congo, because of you. These severed hands have become a grotesque sort of currency in the colony. Soldiers collect them instead of rubber now, and they have become a substitute for rubber in the event that quotas cannot be met. Soldiers receive bonuses on the basis of their collections of hands. You, King Leopold, have created a system of forced labor that is essentially slave labor in all but name. I receive pictures and eyewitness reports from your own missionaries daily, and I can honestly say that I am disgusted. You should pick up a copy of my book, The Congo Slave State, which details all of the offenses committed against the native Congolese people. I myself am a pacifist. I don't believe that there is a violent solution to this violent situation. But I have come to the conclusion that the murders and profiteering of the Congo are a result of neglect to civilize, and you are the proprietor, King Leopold.
I have no clue what you're talking about. What is going on in the Congo is a great thing. I plan on enriching the people here with modern European advances, the pinnacle of our culture. My motives are purely philanthropic. I am offering my sincerest humanitarian efforts to benefit the lives of the savages that live in the Free State of the Congo through offering them civilization. In fact, I'm working with an entire organization, the International African Association, to make these goals a reality. The people of the Congo live in a backward society. It is simply my wish to help them reform their society to conform with the modern world. Science and civilization are what they lack, and I strive to bring it to them. Although, you are correct, managing the Congo has taken its toll. Not to mention that the Congo has quite the abundant supply of ivory and rubber. With the price of rubber skyrocketing with the invention of the bicycle, the Congo is helping Belgium become a leader in the rubber industry. I, however, am not in this for the money. I've tried to keep casualties as low as possible, but some of them are so stubborn. We have to show our superiority one way or another. Only my personal army is being used in this operation, so it's not nearly the amount of maximum force we could muster. With regards to the photos that have been circulating around, there are always a few isolated incidents that cannot be prevented. Not all of the soldiers in Les Forces Publiques have been properly trained. As in every military organization, there will always be a few of those kinds of people. You simply must stop looking at all the things that are wrong in the Congo and see what the rest of us see, which is a blossoming and beautiful land full of resources for the taking and full of people to teach. The people who live there are savages, and it is them who bring about all the horrible things you described. I am simply trying to help them live a better, more clean and industrious lifestyle.
Now back to Brooke Juan with a brief history of the Belgians in the Congo.
We recovered this video from a Belgian missionary who witnessed Belgian soldiers supervising Congolese farmers picking grain in a field. You can see the soldiers yelling at the farmers to work faster as they also throw the grain back at the farmers. Stop!
He had the brilliant idea in 1906, when his book Red Rubber was published, of putting on the front of it a picture drawn from the Egyptian Book of the God of souls being weighed in the scales. And in one pan of the scales, they had a picture of Leopold in all of his regal regalia, and on the other side, they had a simple black hand, a severed hand. And that's an extraordinary symbol, really, of a movement. That is really how to imprint something on people's understanding, to sum it all up in a single image.
Antwerp was where the Congo rubber arrived. According to legend, the city's name comes from a confrontation between a Roman soldier and a giant who also cut off hands. Any connection between the city's symbol and cut hands in the Congo is seldom made in Antwerp. It's as though the crimes of the Congo are totally forgotten, or worse, never happened.
All of the facial hair in this video was made by the I-Man. The following facial hair in this video was brought to you by the I-Man. The I-Man is Apple's amazing new product, made specially for growing facial hair. All you have to do is draw a mustache on your face, and then the facial hair just appears. Perfect for girls, little boys, for your dog, and even for your instruments. You should buy one online today. Remember, out of all of the profits we gain, 50% will go directly to Congo.
Next we have our field interviewer, Xandri Clifton, in the Congo Free State with some 20 minutes exclusive interviews.
Thanks, Doug. This is Xander Clifton in the Congo Free State, and this is Mr. Lumumba, a local resident. So can you describe what's happening in the Congo right now?
Yeah, all of our what I thought was sturdy culture has collapsed. There's chaos every day. People run and people hide, but in vain. Death is expected to an extent, I guess. I don't think I'll ever get used to the creatively brutal ways white men kill. The way they kill, it's hard to see. It hurts. It really does. I've seen children dead without a childhood. I even saw my own father get brutally killed.
And do you have any personal feelings towards King Leopold?
Well, normally I'd hold my tongue against this kind of things, but I've seen too many people die not to say anything. So yes, I am against everything.
And can you describe the conditions in your village?
Well, yeah, we have been essentially forced into slavery in our own country. 10% of our village is forced to break their backs working on collecting ivory and rubber for the white men full-time, while like 25% works part-time. When they set their quotas and they aren't met, the soldiers descend upon our villages, raping and looting. They cut off our hands and feet and they do unspeakable things.
Thank you for your time, Mr. Lumumba. Hi, I'm Sandra Clifton with Dr. Henry Morton Stanley for an exclusive interview.
Good afternoon. Dr. Livingstone, I presume?
No, I'm Sandra Clifton.
Right.
So what have you been doing in the Congo?
Well, I'm just a simple explorer. The last few years of my life have been spent crisscrossing Africa searching for Dr. Livingstone. I can't even believe how many years I've spent looking for him. But now I'm back in the Congo for the King of Belgium, searching the Congo for natives to conquer, to claim the Congo for said nation.
How exactly have you gone about doing that?
It's quite simple, really. The natives don't seem to understand my higher levels of thought and speech. It's been quite easy to get what I want.
And how have you been dealing with the other natives here in the Congo?
Well, that's quite simple. A savage only respects brute force and decision. I've had to put down a few buggers who, disagreed with me.
Don't you think that's a bit harsh?
No, that's how we usually do it.
All right, well, there you have it. Dr. Henry Morton Stanley.
Thank you, Miss Clifton. Today we've got a historical exposition through the serene plains and mystical jungles of the Congo. We've also met some of the most influential people from across Belgium and its colonial holding in the Congo. This has been 20 minutes. Thank you for watching. Thank you.